Hello, everybody, and welcome to Simmons Elementary School, where today we have high school swimming, both boys and girls. The Quakertown Panthers visit the Hatboro-Horsham Hatters. The Hatters girls come into this meet. They are the defending state champions from last year. Their team comes in at 7-1, hope to improve to 8-1 this year. The boys team is 3-5 and hoping to get their fourth win against Quakertown today. And we begin today with the women's 200 IM medley relay. The Hatters will be in the even lanes 2, 4, and 6, and Quakertown will be in lanes 1, 3, and 5. In lane number 1, leading off for Quakertown is Michaela Kessler. Lane 2 for the Hatters, Angelina Park. Lane 3 for Quakertown, Maria Waymeyer. Lane number 4, Sam Wingington for the Hatters. Lane 5 for Quakertown is Natalie Wisniewski. And lane 6 for the Hatters, leading off will be Brooklyn Standen. And the girls are in the water. In the IM, you're going to see a variety of types of strokes. And they're going to lead off with the backstroke. And the Hatters off to a good start. In lane number 4, Sam Wingington taking a slight lead over Maria Waymeyer. Quakertown in lane 3, and at the turn, looks pretty even from here. But Wingington is doing a great job on the backstroke. So it's 50 yards for each of the strokes, and she's going to hand it off to Lainey Claveau. For the Hatters, she's in lane number 4. In lane number 3 will be Quakertown Kara Woods. And this is the breaststroke here. Lainey coming off the turn. She's about a half a body lead over Quakertown, but it looks like Quakertown's coming up on Lainey. That's Kara Woods from Quakertown in lane number 3. Lainey holding her own here as she tags. And then Megan Ledecky for the Hatters. Now in the butterfly stroke, and she's neck and neck with Lily Balls from Quakertown in lane number 3, and at the turn, Hatters still in the lead. Megan Ledecky trying to hang on, but Balls is coming up, and she overtakes her right at the turn here. And this is Elise Mothersball for the Hatters in lane number 4, and Andrea Tantoro in lane number 3. And it looks neck and neck on the turn, but it looks like Eloise is pulling ahead just by a smidgen. We'll see how it is coming down the stretch in this freestyle part of the race, and it looks like Eloise is going to neck out Lily Balls. What a fine race. And then later goes lane number 2 for the Hatters, Amanda Tolber. And Quakertown coming in lane 5. And the Hatters, Naomi Baroff in lane number 6. There you see the times. Hatters winning 158.81. Quakertown in second place. Hatters in third place. So overall, good race for the Hatters. And now the boys' 200-yard medley relay coming up. There's only 3 lanes here, and Hatters in lanes 2 and 4. Quakertown in lane 3. Cooper Alderson in lane number 1, and Ethan Cooper for the Hatters in lane 4. And for Quakertown, it's Kellen Lowry. And they're off. And the backstroke part of this race, looks like Ethan Cooper is neck and neck with Cooper Alderson in lane 2. And it looks like lane number 2, it looks pretty even right now. The Hatters are doing a fantastic job. Neck and neck. Taking over this race already, and they're going to hand it off. First in the pool would be Jack Guliana in lane number 4, and lane number 2 is Andrew Tedesco. And we have Jack making the turn on the breaststroke. Right now, he's got a full body lead over Andrew Tedesco. And he comes down the stretch. He will hand it off to Jack Baumgardner. And Jack enters the pool. He's way ahead. This should be an easy race for the Hatters in lane 4. Jack makes the turn, and he's about 6 or 7 seconds ahead of everybody else. Quakertown looks like they're in the second position. And he'll hand it off to Kyle Long as the anchor, and this will be freestyle. Kyle's like a half pole ahead. He should easily be able to cruise in for the victory. Nice turn. Here's a good battle for second place between in lane 2 and 3. Brady Bazowski against George Shuffling. And we'll see who comes in second place. And it looks like it's going to be the Hatters again, easily in second place, where Brady Bazowski comes in second. So congratulations on the Hatters winning 2-3 with a time of 1:56.6 in lane number 4. Second place, the Hatters, 2 minutes, 1 second, and 7/100ths. Now we're off to the girls 200 freestyle. In lane 1 will be Risa Palmer for Quakertown. Lane 2, Anna Gockley for the Hatters. Lane number 3, Olivia Levinowchuk. In lane number 4, Emily Erickson. In lane number 5, Becca Kinane. In lane number 6 for the Hatters would be Addison Hornby. Again, the Hatters are in the even lanes, Quakertown in the odd. And they're off. It looks like Erickson in lane number 4 is ahead. Just notching over Olivia from Quakertown and Anna from Hatboro-Horsham on the turn. Looks like Emily is now pulling ahead. Nice stroke. Nice and smooth. And again, this is 200 yards. Erickson now with 2 or 3 body lengths over the next swimmer, and she looks very healthy coming off that turn. There is a good battle for second place between Levinchuk and Gockley for the Hatters. And Erickson again just cruising along, no challenge, nice easy strokes. She is way, way, way ahead of the other 2 swimmers. Coming out on should be her last lap here. And the Hatters look like they're going to take 1 and 2 in this position for this race. And Erickson comes in. No, she's got 1 more to go. They have to go up and down 8 times. Nice smooth race again for Emily. She's at least a half pole length ahead of Gockley, who's in second place in lane number 2 for the Hatters. And there she is, victorious by a tremendous amount of time. A well-crafted race there by Emily Erickson. And there's in lane 6, that was Addison Hornby. Lane 2, that was Anna Gockley. And then Quakertown comes in behind. So once again, the girls' team is dominant, as they have been throughout the year. There are the times in lane 4, time at 2:02.88. And in lane 6 came in second place. You usually don't see that at 2:17.56. And in third place The Hatters again in lane number 2 with 209.78. So they sweep in the girls' 200-yard freestyle. Up next, the boys' 200-yard freestyle. And in lane number 1 from Quakertown, we have Tobias Oldstead. In lane number 2 from the Hatters is Spencer Alderson. In lane number 3, Connor Friesch, David G. in lane 4, George Shuffling in lane 5, and Josh Summer in lane 6, and are getting ready to go. And there's the buzzer. The boys, 200-yard freestyle, so they do 8 laps up and back, so it's kind of a longer race. It is not a sprint. And you can see David G. pulling ahead early. Again, usually the center lanes are the most accomplished swimmers in most races. David G. looked pretty good, and also Spencer Alderson in lane 2 is also looking strong at this point. So Hatters are 1 and 2. Coming down for the second turn here. So this will be 75 yards into their 200-yard race. And there we have David G. looking very strong this early going. We'll see if he can continue this pace. And also in lane 2, Spencer is looking very strong also. And the rest of the field is kind of dragging behind, but nice smooth strokes. Keep your body horizontal. David G., he is half a pole length ahead, I think, of even his teammate Alderson. And David G. on the turn. Yeah, Alderson in lane 2. It's about a half a pole length behind. And this is not even close. The Hatters are easily going to run away with this race. And David Gia is the winner for the Hatters in lane number 4. His seed time was a 1:48.09. We'll see if he can top that today. Oh, he just misses it, but it's still a good number there, considering he wasn't really chased by anybody at 1:48.84. And the Hatters also finished in second place. Now on to the girls' 200-yard IM in lane number 1, Maria Waymeyer, Kathy Gia in lane 2, Kara Woods, Annie Gia in 4, Evelyn Einoff in 5, and Kendall Goldes in lane number 6 for Quakertown. They're getting ready, and there's the start. Again, the Hatters in the even lanes, Quakertown team in the odds. So they start off with the butterfly, and off the early lead is Annie Gia on the first turn. She's pretty close with lane number 3, Kara Woods. And Gia with a slight lead there, and pretty good. And we have a good second place battle between Kathy Gia and Kara Woods as well. Now they're into the backstroke. We'll see if anything changes here. Gia looks like she's pulling a little bit ahead. Good kick off the turn. Staying underwater a long time. Nice smooth backstroke for Annie Gia. And now she's lengthening her lead. Well, she's got about a half a body length over Kathy Gia. So the Hatters are in first and second in command. Now the breaststroke. Annie looking strong here. She's pretty much, looks like she has this race in hand. And Kathy Gia coming in second, followed by Kara Woods from Quakertown, lane 3. So they'll do 50 yards for each stroke, it looks like. And now this should be the freestyle. Great kick for Annie Gia. She'll just excel. And Kathy Gia in lane 2 is about 2 body lengths behind her. Yeah, maybe a body length and a half. Good kick, and this will be the stretch down the stretch. Annie looking very strong. Again, when there's nobody pushing you, your times may not be, you're not going to probably set any records. But Annie Gia in first, followed by Kathy Gia in second. In the girls 200 IM. And here comes Kara Woods in third place from Quakertown. And here are the times. Okay, in lane number 4, we have Annie Gia with a time of 2:04.62. Lane 2, Kathy Gia 2:07.98. Kara Woods 2:18.43. So Hatters are placed 2 out of the top 3 in that category. Up next is the boys 200 IM, and it's all Hatters in this race only. So we had Jack Baumgartner in lane 2, Ethan Cooper in lane 4, and Seth Cooper in lane 6. So no competition here for the boys. Not sure if they're going to add these points to the team totals. Seems to be a bit unfair, but I guess if you don't have any swimmers, maybe that's the way they're going to score it. So we have Ethan Cooper and Jack Baumgartner in lanes 2 and 4. And it looks like Jack is, looks like they're neck and neck. This should be a pretty good race then. Boys are in the butterfly part of this race. And make the turn. This should be the backstroke. We'll see if this changes the race at all. It looks like Ethan and Jack are neck and neck coming down the far side. Yeah, they are. It's a pretty exciting race at this point, but it looks like Jack Baumgartner in lane 2 pushed off quicker, but Ethan is coming back. They're pretty close. And it must be tough for them to see it because they're so far apart they may not be able to see how close or how far they are from the other swimmer. And this is the breaststroke. Jack and Cooper in an exciting who wants it more race. Looks like Jack is slowly pulling ahead. Again, they do 50 yards for each race. This is the breaststroke. Next should be freestyle. And Jack Baumgartner lengthens his lead by half a body length. And they're off the turn and now into the freestyle part of the race. We'll see what happens here. This is where it gets really competitive. And you can see Ethan trying to catch up here. In fact, I think he's overtaken Jack, and he has. On the turn, Ethan looking strong. Coming down the last 15 yards, 10 yards. And it looks like Ethan Cooper is going to win by a half a body length over Jack Baumgartner. Very good. And now we're waiting for Seth Cooper to finish up his meet. And there's basically the times, 2:15.89, 2:18.14. So good race, guys. And now we get ready for the girls' 50-yard freestyle. Lane 1, Romina Kentari Ron. In lane 2, Sam Wingington. In lane 3, Lily Boz. In lane 4, Sarah Parker. In lane 5, Autumn Harvey. And Amanda Talber in lane number 6. This is a very quick race. The Hatters expecting to win this as well. So we'll see. There's going to be 2 heats for this. This is heat number 1. And they're off. Sarah Parker in lane 4 looks pretty good. A slight lead over Lily Boz in lane number 3 from Quakertown. They're off the first turn. This is it. Now they're down the stretch. Parker hanging on to a lead over Boz. And Parker down to the last 10 yards. And she takes it. Ball second place. And in lane 2, Wingington in lane number 2 gets third place. And it looks like in lane number 1 goes to Quakertown for 4th place. So very exciting race. Again, the times 24:11. Second place 25:11. So full second victory. And Hatters in third place with a 27.22.
Results. 6th place, lane 6.
All right, this is this second heat of the girls' 50-yard freestyle race. Lane number 2, Samantha Merced for the Hatters. Tori Oldford. In lane number 3, Naomi Bertolf for the Hatters in lane 4, and Brooklyn Standen in lane 5. And they're off. And it looks like Tori Oldford is taking the lead. Oh, she's running away with this already. She's a full body lead over Merced and Bertolf. And looks like Tori Oldford is going to run away with this one. But who's going to come in second place? Looks like it's lane number 2, I would think. Samantha Merced for the Hatters. So let's take a look at the times. And again, yes, in lane number 3, 27:57. Lane 2, 29.85. And lane 5 gets third place with 30.06. All right, now the boys' 50-yard freestyle. Kyle Long in lane 2 for the Hatters. Kellen Lowry in lane 3. Jack Juliana in lane 4. Lucas Malgo in lane 5. And Cooper Alderson in lane 6. And they're off. And it looks like Jack Juliana has the early lead, but looks like it's a two-man race between him and Kyle Long. But Jack's pulling away. Looks like the Hatters are going to take first and second place here. So Juliana wins the race, followed by Kyle Long, and then Quakertown, Kellen Lowry in third. Let's take a look at the times. And the Hatters winning in lane 4, Jack Juliana with a time of 22:87, followed by Kyle Long with a 24.15 time. Third place went to lane 6 at 24.71. Now we move on to event number 11, the girls' 100-yard butterfly. In lane number 1, it will be Natalie Owens from from PAL. In lane number 2 is Joey Deck from the Hatters. Lane 3, Lily Balls. For Quakertown, lane 4, Maggie Pompili. And lane number 5, Risa Palmer. Lane number 6, Joel Kernish. And they're off. And it looks like lane number 3's got the early lead. That's Lily Balls from Quakertown. Turning it. And looks like actually in lane number 1, Natalie Owens from Powell is in second place. Again, this is the 100-yard butterfly. They'll be up and down 4 times. And Lily Balls is really taking a tremendous lead here. About a half a pull length. Looks very strong. Oh, yeah, not even close. It's going to be a battle for second place. But Lily Balls is almost a half pull length ahead. So practically, she's just going to cruise in from Quakertown with an easy victory here. Let's see who's going to come in second. I mean, it's lanes 1 and 2. Looks like lane number 2 is going to get second place. That's Joey Deck from the Hatters. And let's take a look at the times. In first place, Lily Balls, lane 3 with a time of 1:03.64. Lane number 2 with a time of 1:11. 112.04, and lane number 3, 112.46. And now the boys 100-yard butterfly. In lane number 1, Tobias Olmsted from Powell. In lane 2, we have Spencer Alderson from the Hatters. Lane number 3, Joshua Einoff. Lane number 4, Kyle Long. And lane number 6 is Ilian Moreau Rios. Hatters are in lanes 2, 4, and 6. Quakertown's just in lane 3, and we have Powell in lane number 1. Again, this is the boys' 100-yard butterfly. And they're off. And looks like lanes 2, 3, and 4 are dead heat. Looks like lane number 3, Joshua Einoff, takes the early lead. And in lane number 2, Spencer Alderson from the Hatters in second place. Actually scratched that. Would be lane number 4, Kyle Long. And Einoff is more than a body length ahead of everybody else in the pool. The Hatters are in second and third place here trying to catch up. And this will be the last turn for Joshua Einoff. And he's almost got a half bull length lead. I don't see the Hatters catching up to him, excuse me. And Einoff wins. Let's see who comes in second. Looks like it's Kyle Long in second, followed by Spencer Alderson from the Hatters in third place. Let's take a look at the times. And in first place with a time of 55.46 goes to Joshua Einoff. Second place goes to the Hatters with a 1:00.62 time. And third place goes to lane number 1, Tobias Olson from Powell, with a 1:03.48 time. Now on to the girls' 100-yard freestyle. In lane number 1 from Quakertown, Natalie Miller. Lane number 2 from the Hatters is Lainey Claveau. Lane number 3 from Quakertown is Alexandra Tantorno. Lane number 4 is Eloise Mothersball. Lane number 5, Morgan Lee, and Brooklyn Standen from the Hatters in lane number 6. So this will be 4 times up and back, and they take their marks. And they're off. Again, this is the girls' 100-yard freestyle. They're off to a good start in lane number 4. Mother's Ball for the Hatters takes the early lead, about a half a length over Alexandra Tantorno in lane number 3 for Quakertown. Mother's Ball coming up on the first turn, about a half a body length. Let's see if Tantorno can make up any ground in lane number 3. And Mother's Ball is holding her off, actually extending the lead to a full body length here on this turn. Again, push from the turn is very important. And you can see Mother's Ball now pulling more than a body length ahead of Alexander Tantorno. And she would finish in first place. Tantorno in lane 3 in second. And it looks like lane number 5, Morgan Lee from Quakertown, comes in third place. Let's take a look at the scores. And in first place in lane number 4, the 59 seconds goes to Eloise Mothersball. And lane number 2 with a 1:01.79 goes to Quakertown. And Quakertown also gets third place in lane 5, claiming 2 out of the top 3 spots in that race. Now the boys' 100-yard freestyle. Again, this is all Hatters. Patrick McFarland in lane 2, Ethan Cooper in lane 4, and Josh Summer in lane 6. Now up on the starting blocks, they take their spots. And there they go. Again, this is all Hatters race here in lanes 2, 4, and 6. And Ethan Cooper takes the early lead in lane number 4. Looks like lane number 2 Patrick McFarland is about a half a body length behind him, almost halfway through the race. Ethan Cooper looks like he has a comfortable lead over both Patrick McFarland and Josh Summer. Now heading to the last turn, a full body length ahead of McFarland. Cooper makes the turn. And coming down the stretch, the last 10 yards, it's going to be easily Cooper's race, and he wins. And I believe Patrick McFarland came in second. So let's go take a look at the scores. And there they are. Yeah, first place goes to lane 4. Second place goes to McFarland in lane 2. And Josh Summer in lane 6 gets third. Now we move on to the very long races, the girls' 500-yard freestyle. And in lane 1 from Quakertown, Autumn Haberly, Kendall Golez for the Hatters in lane 2, Ruth Clement in lane 3, Sam Wingington in lane 4, Regina Kovics in lane 5, and Ava Tornetta for the Hatters in lane number 6. And they're off. So this is 20 times up and down. So this is a long race. We won't show you the entire thing. We'll come back for the finish. But right now, looks like lane number 5 is in the lead, and that's Regina Kovics from Quakertown. Oh, excuse me, lane 4 looks like Sam Wingington is in the lead now. Apologies there. And the Hatters look like they're first and second in the early block in lane 4 and in lane 2 with Kendall Golez. And ladies and gentlemen, we will take a break for the conclusion of the girls' 500-yard freestyle race after this. And we're back for the girls' 500-yard freestyle race, where it is a Sam Wingington race. It's all hers. She's multiple body lengths and probably a half a pool length, if not a full pool length, in the lead. She's got a comfortable position here, just cruising along, trying to finish up this race. It is a grueling race. Race lasts about over 5-6 minutes. And there she is. She finishes in lane number 4. And in second place, I believe we'll go to lane number 1, Autumn Haberly from Quakertown. But let's take a look at this to see how this race finished up. And first, second, and third place goes to the Hatters. First place with a 5:34.8 goes to Sam Wingington. In second place goes to lane 2 with Kendall Golez, and lane number 6 goes to Ava Tornetta, all from the Hatters. On to the boys' 500-yard freestyle in lanes 2. This is all Hatters here. Cooper Alderson, Jack Juliana in lane 4, and Seth Cooper in lane 6. And these guys have raced a lot today, so I expect they're pretty tired. I'm surprised they're running this race, but it is a long one. And again, no Quakertown swimmers, so this is all Hatters. And Jack Juliana takes the early lead in lane 4, followed by Cooper Alderson in lane 2 and Seth Cooper in lane 6. And it's a long race for these guys and girls, so the pace will be very slow. And early on, it looks like Jack Juliana is about a full body length lead ahead of Cooper Alderson in lane 2. So we'll take a commercial break and see the conclusion of this race when we come back. And welcome back to the final lap of the boys 500-yard freestyle race. And in lane 4, Jack Juliana has a commanding lead over Cooper Alderson and Seth Cooper for the Hatters. Pretty easy race for Jack as far as competition goes. And here he is in the last. He must be really tired finishing up now, laboring to get to the finish line. So he's in first place alone by a long shot, still waiting for Alderson and Cooper. Yeah, you can see he's smiling a little bit. He's like, this is finally done. This is finally over. And now we've reached event number 17 for the girls 200-yard freestyle relay. The Quakertown teams in the odd lanes, the Hatters in the even lanes. And they're getting ready to go. And they're off. For the Hatters in lane 3, it's Kathy Gia. And she takes the early lead over Lily Bawes from Quakertown. And here's the first turn. Gia with a slight lead over Bawes. They almost look neck and neck just a little bit. Hatters just a smidgen ahead, but it looks pretty even now. Coming in, and Quakertown goes, no, Hatters go in the pool first. I thought it was going to be Quakertown. And now Emily Erickson is ahead of Alexander Tortino for Quakertown. And Erickson is a full body length ahead, so she really lengthened the Hatters' lead and gave the Hatters an advantage on this leg of the race. Now, Sarah Parker coming in for the Hatters. She's in the pool. She's way ahead now. The Hatters really running away with the race. Her stroke looks powerful, strong. She's almost a half pool length ahead of the Quakertown team. That would be Maria Weimeyer. And now the anchor, Annie Gia, jumps into the pool. She's got almost a full pool length ahead of Quakertown. She can cruise on in very easily. Annie Gia heading the last 10 yards of this girls' 200-yard freestyle race and easily wins. In second place, looks like it's going to be Quakertown in lane 3. But a very good race for the Gias and the Hatters in lane number 4. Looks like the Hatters are in third place in lane number 2. So let's take a look at the times. And the Hatters, of course, win this race. They finish 2 out of the top 3 spots in first place with a 1:37.21 time, and also in lane number 2 in third place with a 1:55.91. Well done. Now on to the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. The Hatters in lanes 2 and 4, Quakertown in lane number 3. In lane number 2 for the Hatters, Andrew Tedesco will lead us off. Lane number 3, Joshua Einoff for Quakertown. and David G in lane number 4. They're getting ready, and they're off. Lane number 4, David G, had a really good start, and he takes the early lead over Quakertown's Joshua Einoff, who's had a pretty good and a long day of swimming. And coming off the first turn, Hatters with almost a full body length ahead. And Gia hands it off to Spencer Alderson. Spencer's also had a busy day of swimming, and the Hatters are over 2 body lengths ahead. And in lane number 2, it looked like the Hatters are starting to catch up too. So, and the Hatters in lane 4 with a commanding lead. This is Jack Juliana now into the pool, and he's well ahead of Quakertown and the others Hatters team in lane number 2. Oh, I'd say like a pool length for sure. It's really a battle for second place between Quakertown and the Hatters. First place easily goes to the Hatters, and there's Cooper Alderson in as the anchor. He could almost swim backwards easily and probably win this race. And it looks like the other teams just gave up. The Hatters easily running away with this race. They figure there's no chance. Maybe they're saving themselves for other races. But Cooper Alderson easily takes the finish there for the Hatters, easily winning this race. Let's take a look at the scores. And in lane number 4, 137.15, and they gave the other scores 10 seconds behind. So congratulations to the Hatters on that race. Now we are at the girls 100-yard backstroke race, and in lane 1 it'll be Natalie Wisniewski for Quakertown. Lane number 2, Angelina Park. Kara Woods in lane number 3. Megan Ledecky for the Hatters in lane 4. Maria Waymeyer for Quakertown in lane 5. Samantha Merced in lane 6 for the Hatters. And again, this will be the girls' 100-yard backstroke. It'll be 4 times up and back. So there is no lane 5. I guess 5 is a forfeit. Maria Waymeyer is not racing for Quakertown. And they're off. And Quakertown with the early lead. That's Kara Woods in lane number 3. Lane number 4, Megan Ledecky is in second place. Woods with about a full body length lead over Ledecky, coming about the half-point part of the race. And she gets a really good kickoff, Kara Woods does, from Quakertown. And now she's getting to a comfortable lead, about a full body length lead. Let's see how she does off the turn here, where a lot of races are won and lost. And Woods looks like she's extending her lead a little bit, a little more than a body length over the Hatters. She looks good. Coming down the stretch here. And she will take first place. In lane 4, Megan Ledecky will take second place. Now battle for third. Looks like the Hatters in lane number 2 will take third place. So Hatters finished 2 out of the top 3. Not bad. Let's take a look at the times. And Kara Woods again with a 102.29. First place win. Second place goes to Megan Ledecky. Now the boys 100-yard backstroke. Lane number 2 is Patrick McFarland from the Hatters. Kellen Lowry from Quakertown, lane 3. Lane 4 is David G. Lane 5 is Connor Frisch. And lane 6, Bradley Browski for the Hatters. There is no lane number 1. So the Hatters are in 2, 4, and 6. And Quakertown's in lanes 3 and 5. And they're off. And David G with a very good start here. He's been in a couple races, done very well. Wow, he's running away with this real early. Look at that kick on the turn. It's really going to be a battle for second place between the remaining 4 swimmers. David G looking very strong. About halfway through the race, got it almost a half pole length ahead of the other swimmers. It's amazing that David has that much energy left in him. Now it's a 3/4 pole length ahead of the other competitors, and he could just do whatever stroke he wanted. He'll win easily here, but really we'll wait to see who comes in second place. But what a race by David G. And looks like it's between lanes 2 and 5. Who's going to win it? Oh, I don't know. We're going to have to wait for the scores because it depends on who tug. We're not sure yet. So, and here are the finals. Of course, David G easily wins, but in second place goes to the Hatters with a 1:11.84 against Quakertown. It was a close one, just by a couple hundredths of a second that the Hatters came in second place in that race. Now on to the girls' 100-yard breaststroke. In lane 1 from Quakertown, we have Allie Gallio. In lane 2, Emily Erickson from HH. Evelyn Einoff in Quakertown. In lane 3, Kathy Gia for the Hatters in lane 4. In lane 5 is Ruth Clement from Quakertown. And lane 6 is Annie Gockley for the Hatters. And they're off. Actually, there is no lane 5 in this race. And looks like lane number 2, Emily Erickson for the Hatters, is in the early lead, followed by, it's not her, it's Kathy Gia in lane 4. That's ahead. In second place is Emily Erickson. So correct that. This is the first of 2 heats for the girls' 100-yard breaststrokes. They travel up and down the pool lanes 4 times. They're halfway through now, and Kathy Gia has a huge lead over her teammate Emily Erickson in lane 2. So she can go as fast as she wants. She's about almost a half a pool length, and now she's down to the last 25 yards. Good form, excellent stroke there. And Kathy Gia will cruise in easily for her win. And in second place behind her, Emily Erickson, again unchallenged. And it looks like the Hatters are going to go 1, 2, 3 in lane 6. Annie Gockley in third place. So the Hatters take 1, 2, 3 in the girls' 100-yard breaststroke first heat. Congratulations. Let's take a look at the times. And Kathy Gia in lane 4, the time 1:06.89. In second place goes the Hatters at 1:12.11. So, and the Hatters went 1, 2, 3 on that race. Now it's going to be heat number 2. So they'll start in lane 2. It will be Sam Wingington from the Hatters, Tori Oldford from Quakertown, Lainey Claveau in lane number 4, and Cameron Jeffries in lane 5. And Joey Deck in lane number 6. And on their mark, and there they go into the pool. And it looks like Laney in lane number 4. Oh, close lead. Actually, looks like lane number 3, Tori Oldford, with the early lead. Laney's right next to her. Here they come off the first turn. Quakertown with a little bit of a stronger kick in lane number 3, that's Terry Oldford from Powell. Actually, she's not from Quakertown. And Laney in lane 2 second. Third place is Sam Wingington in lane number 2. Ooh, I think Laney may have gotten the extra edge there on that last kick, and she did. She leads just by a little bit. So it really comes down to technique and the will to win here. They're coming up on the last turn And Laney has taken the lead. Again, she took the lead halfway through because she had a strong kick and continues to have show about a half a body length ahead of Tori Oldford. And they're coming down to the stretch here. Can Laney hold on to her lead? We're going to find out. She's looking pretty good now. Just a few more yards, and she does. So Laney Claveau wins it, Terry Oldford second, and Sam Wingington for the Hatters third. So very good race. Congratulations, Laney. And let's take a look at the times. And there are the times: 1:14.81 for Laney. And in second place, 1:15.75 goes to Tori Oldford. And in third place, obviously, the Hatters win there. So a great race for them. And now up is the boys' 100-yard breaststroke in lane number 2, Andrew Tedesco for the Hatters. Lane number 3, Joshua Einoff from Quakertown, Jack Bamgardner in lane 4. Lane 5 is George Shuffling, and lane 6, Ian Morrow Rios for the Hatters. And they're off. And it looks like in lane number 3, Joshua Einoff with the early lead. He's raced a couple races today. And he has the lead coming into the first turn with a good kick. He lengthened his lead to a full body length over Jack Bamgardner. And Einoff is looking pretty strong right here. Now he's past the body length. Nice kick off there. It's going to be tough for Jack Bamgardner to catch up to him at this point. We're going to see what happens. Einoff looking strong in lane number 3. It's really a 3-person race here, but really actually just a 1-person race. Einoff is in command of this race. He'll finish easily with a victory. And for the Hatters, Bamgardner and Tedesco are going to finish second and third here. So not bad for the Hatters, finishing 2 out of the top 3 finishers. And congratulations to Einoff. Excellent race for him. Let's take a look at the times. And Einoff wins with a 1:06.77, followed by a 1:12.82 and a 1:16 race for the Hatters, finishing in second and third. Now this is the girls' 400-yard freestyle relay race. And Quakertown will be in lane 1, Hatters in lane 2. Quakertown is in lane 3 and 5, the Hatters in lane 4 and 6. Leading off for Quakertown will be Ruth Clement. For the Hatters in lane 2, Addison Hornby. In lane 3, Morgan Lee. Mia Tamburino in lane number 4. And Becca Canane for Quakertown lane 5. And Maggie Pompili for the Hatters in lane number 6. And the swimmers are up on their mark. They're getting ready to set. And there they go. This is the girls' 400-yard freestyle relay. You would expect the Hatters to be the favorites in this, and already they are taking an early lead in lane 4. Mia Tamburino looking strong in lane number 4, followed by lane 3, Morgan Lee from Quakertown, and Addison Hornby for the Hatters in lane 2. And they will go up and back 4 times before the next swimmer jumps into the pool. About a half a body lead Tamburino has over Lee. They're coming into the final turn here. It's really a battle for second place at this point, but anything can happen in the relay. Again, each team has 4 girls that are going to race up and back 4 times. So there's a lot of ground to cover for each team. And here's the first exchange for the Hatters. Coming in is Amanda Tolber. And she's looking strong. She has about a full body length lead over Olivia Livinchuk for, I hope I pronounced that name right, for Quakertown in lane number 3. And Amanda Talbot looks very strong here. She's got almost at least a body and a half length over Quakertown. In lane number 2 for the Hatters, Naomi Beroff is looking very strong. But lane 4, Amanda Talbot looks, oh yeah, this is about a 2 or 3 body length lead. The Hatters in total command in lane 4. It's really a battle for second place at this point. Unless, well, anything can happen. And here will come the exchange for Megan Ledecky. Megan jumps into the pool. Hatters look like in lane number 2, I think is pulling ahead of lane number 3. We'll see. Yes. So lane number 2 for the Hatters is Lainey Claveau, who just raced not too long ago. She's doing well. And the Hatters totally in control here. Very easy race. They look very strong. And again, they are the state champions, so you would expect that from the Hatters. And coming down the stretch, all right, this is, I think this is Megan Ledecky here for the Hatters in lane number 4. That squad has really dominated this race to this point and will continue to win. Hatters in lane 2 are starting to pull away also. Very strong. And really, going back, I don't think the Hatters lost a race on the girls' side, from what I can remember. And this is like a 2-lap lead the Hatters have in lane number 4. What a terrific race for them. I don't think we're going to get any pool records, but it's pretty outstanding. And actually, that was Eloise Mothersbaugh. They were so far ahead, I forgot how far ahead they were. And Eloise finishes strong for the Hatters. Tremendous race. So let's take a look at, well, there's the Hatters in second place. Sorry, that was Quakertown. Quakertown gets second place in lane number 3, followed by third place in lane number 2 for the Hatters. All right, so let's take a look at the scores. And in lane number 1, they finished with a 404.73. Quakertown in lane 3 with a 426.62. And the Hatters in lane 2, third place with a score of 430.97. And again, the Hatters finishing in first and third place in the girls 400 freestyle relay. All right, now we have the boys 400-yard freestyle relay, and there are only 2 lanes being used for this race, and both teams are going to be from Hatboro-Horsham, so it's really just a competition among the Hatboro-Horsham swimmers. And in lane 2 was Seth Cooper leading us off, and in lane 4, Kyle Long. Kyle Long takes the he took the early lead, but it looks like Cooper in lane number 2 says, nah, maybe not so fast. And they're pretty even here, but I think Cooper's got the slight lead in lane number 2. And they are neck and neck. Again, this is more like pride here. Who's better on the team, who feels good today. And they're neck and neck going into the last turn of the boys' 400-yard freestyle. Again, just Hatboro-Horsham teams right here. And they are neck and neck, so both of them want it bad. It's good to see that competition among the squad. I think Cooper's got a slight lead, and he does, because Patrick McFarland in lane 2 jumped in first before Spencer Alderson in lane number 4. And McFarland Now with a huge lead, stretching it out. He's swimming hard, so he's not letting up. Maybe trying to beat a personal time. And he's almost a half a pool length ahead of Spencer Alderson in lane number 4. And this is the last turn for Patrick McFarland. Yeah, I would say officially a half pool length lead at this point. And he is going to hand it off to Josh Summer. And that lead has extended past a half a pool length. Summer can just cruise, no need to have any strenuous strokes here. Just glide on through. So he'll go up and back once in lane number 2. So bragging rights for that group in lane number 2. They're probably easily going to win. Now, what I would do if I was Josh, unless he's going for, actually, I was going to say he's going to let up a little bit to make it a competition, and now it is. Because Ethan Cooper in lane 4, he's taken over the lead. Who would have thought? Wow, he's coming down the stretch here. They're going to hand it off to the anchors. And yes, lane 4, David G jumps into the pool after coming back from an almost insurmountable lead. Wow. I guess you really can't take it easy in this race because the next thing you know, you're losing. And losing by a lot. David G's really pouring it on in lane number 4. He says, no way are we losing. Boom. And for the anchor, it's Brady Borowski in lane number 2 is the anchor for that team. And right now, G's got about a body and a half length ahead of Borowski. And David G, I don't see letting up. Maybe he's toying with him. Maybe he wants to say, hey, catch up and we'll see who wins at the end. But no, it's like David G in lane number 4. That squad in lane 4 was down by a lot, and they came back and won. What an effort by David G's team to win. So let's take a look at the times. And there they are with a 3:39.52 in lane 4 and a 3:41.96 in lane 2. All right, let's take a look at how the teams fared. And the girls, of course, they won easily by a score of 84-72, and the boys were dominant with a score of 95-39. So the Hatters go on to win. The girls go to 8-1, and the boys go into 4-5. Well, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.